Welcome back into another NBA DFS prize picks video. Going to be touching on the top picks for today. All right, so just real quick, a recap from yesterday's slate. It was a solid day. Went 1 for 1 on prize picks and 1 for 1 on Underdog. That was kind of just a slate that we had, but I'm glad that the two prop bets that I gave out hit. So hopefully we can give you guys some winners once again today. Let's go ahead and get into the slate. So as always, I do like to start out with the slate preview, and it is kind of crazy just how many of these games have been blowouts. Yes, we prepare for the outcomes that Vegas is presenting, but it's just crazy. A lot of these playoff games have been blowouts. So looking at, we got Boston versus Philly, a 2.5 point spread, 212 over and under, not terrible. And then we got the Denver versus Phoenix game, 226 over and under, 3-point spread. Phoenix is favored to win. And to me, that could be a game in which we do want to attack. So let's just go ahead and start out with Boston. And then I'll get into Phoenix versus Denver because that's going to be where I think we are getting the best prop bets. So I was hoping that we'd begin an Al Horford prop. We are not. Okay. That's unfortunate because to me, that would have been the best prop that we were getting on the slate because Al Horford, maybe he's just going to stop shooting, but he has been terrible from 3-ball range. We need to see some more consistency. 0 for 7, 2 for 7, 5 for 7, 1 for 8, 1 for 4. Like, it is just strange. A lot of these are open attempts as well. Now, that game was a blowout. He didn't need to get his final run, but it just seems like he should have a good game. And maybe we just go about attacking that via the points. His points is set at 8. And yes, this would be another one of those situations with him where the prop bet would probably be better on one of the sports books where we see the average sportsbook line has it set at 7.6 points for him. And he is projected to get 9.3. Like he should, just given the fact that he had a terrible night shooting the last night, he should be able to get over that. And we can see based off of the projection, project to get 9.3. So that'd be a better prop bet, I think, on one of the sports books rather than on PrizePicks where, you know, it's basically a push and it's a push at 7.6 4 points instead of 8. Okay. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I really don't mind Malcolm Brogdon's points, rebounds, and assists as well. Last game, he did not get there. Okay, for 2 reasons. One, Brogdon went 3 for 9 from the field, his lowest shot amount thus far this series. And why is that? It's kind of twofold. One, he didn't get the normal minutes. Sort of. Game was a blowout, so he didn't need to get those minutes. Okay, if the game actually is projected to stay close, like Vegas thinks it's going to, then he should be able to get there. I also want to mention the fact that he did miss a lot of bunnies. He's one of those guys, he'll get that shot attempt right next to the rim, like a running floater. Yeah, he missed a bunch of those. He missed at least 3 of those in that game. Those are shots he typically does make. You add on 6 more points to that, he's right there, okay? Give a couple more minutes, and I do think he gets there. It's just really how will this game go? Do you think Boston's going to win? Then if you do, then Malcolm Brogdon's going to be a decent prop there. I know I sound like a broken record with those ones. It just is what it is right there. And then we move on into Denver versus Phoenix, guys. I think that this is going to be the game that we want to attack. 3-point spread. The game was a blowout last game. And if you look at it, a lot of the players would have got their overs had the game not been a blowout. I want to go ahead and start out with Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray's prop line is at 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And I think that's the prop that I want to go in on. And we'll touch on why. So Jamal Murray last game had 30, okay? And that is a game in which he did not start off the first half scoring that much. It's not like he had a bad first half. It was more or less Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown. Those players were going off. They didn't need him to produce. Kind of took a backseat approach, which I guess is a little bit of an issue, but he did still get 37 minutes. Now, the game was a blowout. Had the game not been a blowout, he would have got 4 extra minutes. And then that 30 points, rebounds, and assists that he got, I do think he would have got the over, whether that be via free throws at the end of the game or just gain a couple more buckets. His shot attempts were only 7 for 15. Like, he shot the ball decently well. It was just everyone else was playing. And so this bet is more or less predicated on Jamal Murray playing the full allotment of minutes, the 40 minutes or so, and then just starting out a little bit better than he did last game. So that's what I like the most. And then we get into Kevin Durant as well. Kevin Durant, 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We can see the game log. Really, if that game stays close, 3 straight games of getting over 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And why is that relevant? Well, those are the 3 straight games without Chris Paul. Chris Paul is going to be ruled out again. And so Kevin Durant, someone that really struggled at the start of the game, picked it up at the end of the game. He really easily could have got there if he gets those extra 4 to 5 minutes that were available via the game. Okay, so Kevin Durant won, like, for the first 8 minutes of that game. He did kind of take a backseat approach. And also, he doesn't shoot that many threes, but he went 0 for 3 from 3-ball range as well. The rebounds have been up. Maybe that isn't there as much. Assists have been up there as well, but he might not leave the floor tonight. This is a must-win game for them as long as he's not committing 5 turnovers. And that's why I like points, rebounds, and assists a little bit more. specifically for Kevin Durant than Fantasy Score. I'm recording this before Fantasy Score comes out, those props, but Kevin Durant, points, rebounds, and assists would be the one that I like the most, simply because he does turn over the basketball a little bit too much. And then, yeah, sticking with it, guys, the last one's going to be Devin Booker. I know, lather, rinse, repeat. The worry with Devin Booker in the last game was that his production that he had, and really just the efficiency shooting the basketball would fall off. Now, he still shot the ball extremely well, 4 for 7 from 3, 8 for 19 shooting the basketball. The shot attempts were just down a little bit. Well, not compared to the previous game against Denver, but he could have easily got to like 20, 25, maybe even more than that if he does get the full allotment of minutes. So want to make this clear again, this is going to be betting based off of how we think the game's going to go. And if the game goes well, I think Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Jamal Murray over points, rebounds, and assists are going to be the props that we want to go with. And then just pulling up some other good bets that we are getting on the day. You guys can use these if you see fit. We can see Kevin Durant over assists is actually a decent one. We're getting a couple of good MLB props right here. Hits, rebound, hits, RBIs, and runs. Projected to almost get 2 there, 54% chance for that one to hit. That's fine. We got a shots on goal prop, 2.5. That's a decent one that we got there on PrizePicks. Hitting Fantasy Score, we got Juan Soto. This one's very interesting. 8.92 for the average Vegas line. Projected to get 11.26. We can see based off the Fantasy Score, this is one that should hit. Then we look at some of these other ones. Maybe we go Devin Booker over fantasy points instead of points, rebounds, and assists. With him, I think it's either or. It's really up to you guys. I typically like to roll with Fantasy Score, but we can see that Kevin Durant prop is going to be a good one there as well. So we are getting some good props there. Let's just look at the prop line difference, and then I'll begin into the bet of the day. All right, so here we do see a big prop line difference between PrizePicks and Underdog for Maxey. So if you think Maxey is going to continue to have a good game, much better bet there on Underdog. Aaron Gordon, fantasy points there as well. Al Horford, you could make that bet on Underdog over 7.5 points. That'd be a much better prop there, I would say. So probably just not touching on PrizePicks because we have that available on Underdog. Let's go in and flip it. So nothing too crazy. Like, yeah, if you're doing Fantasy Score for Kevin Durant, you are not doing it on Underdog. PrizePicks would be the better route to go. Same thing with Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum. Like, that's going to be the route that you want to go with there. Getting into my bet of the day, this is what it's looking like. Going to keep it simple again. Hopefully these hit. Obviously, even these hitting 50% of the time would be good. They have hit 2 out of the 3 slates. Did not hit last slate because the games were a blowout. The players did not get their additional run. Kevin Durant was close to getting there. I think Jamal Murray would have got there. And maybe, you never know, Devin Booker could have got hot shooting the basketball as well and got there as well. But I think I'm going to trust Vegas. I'm going to trust that this game is going to stay close. Thus, these are my 3 favorite bets on the slate. Fingers crossed that they can hit 3 out of 4 slate. It's just, that's playoff basketball. We don't have a plethora of great props to choose from each slate. So we got to find the ones that we like. These are the 3 ones I like.